All right, so today for religion, we're going to read a new Bible story. We're going to be using our blue paper and our little bag of pieces, all right? So first we got to read the story and figure out what we're going to make today. So we are reading about someone named Elijah. This story is called Elijah and the Bad King. So before Elijah, there were some other kings, which we're going to learn about later this week. So they were called King Saul, King David, and King Solomon. So King Saul, King David, and King Solomon had each ruled over the kingdom of Israel. But when King Solomon died, two men wanted to be the new king. You can't have two kings. So the country was split into two parts, the north and the south. The northern part was called Israel. The southern part was called Jerusalem. Where Jerusalem was called Judah. Each had its own king. So that there was the king of Israel and the king of Judah. They both wanted to be king. They couldn't agree. Some of the kings followed God's laws, which are the 10 Commandments, right? And treated people fairly. Others did not. In the kingdom of Israel, a king named Ahab once ruled. He said, listen to this. He said that it was all right for people to worship other gods. What did we learn from Moses a long time ago? Remember when Moses came down from the Mount Sinai with the 10 Commandments, the people were praying to a golden cow and they were already breaking the commandments. There's only one God. We don't pray to other gods. So the king of Israel, or one of the kings, was letting people pray to other gods. He said it was all right. Some people still prayed to the one true God, the God of Israel, but many people also prayed to statues made of wood and metal, and the people called these statues gods. One of the fake gods, or false gods, was called Baal. People believed that Baal caused the sun to shine and the rain to fall. But who causes the sun to shine and the rain to fall? God, right? Not a statue named Baal. King Ahab built a temple for Baal in his city, in his capital city of Samaria. This made the God of Israel angry. He sent his prophet Elijah to see King Ahab. So Elijah is somebody that speaks to God. Remember, a prophet is someone that speaks to God. So God told Elijah, you need to go talk to King Ahab and tell him that the people should not be praying to this statue right here. Elijah said to King Ahab, so you believe in Baal? Well, I am the servant of the Lord, the God of Israel. I tell you that it won't rain until I say so. There won't even be any dew, which is wetness, on the ground. So he's telling him, this is what's going to happen. And there was no rain that day. There was no rain that month or in the months after. But God took care of Elijah. He told him to go to a secret place across the Jordan River. Ravens were sent by God, brought him bread and meat twice a day, and water flowed in a creek for Elijah to drink. After a while, all the rivers and creeks in Samaria dried up, and no rain came to fill them. So there's becoming no water, right? Rivers and creeks and things fill up from rainwater. So if there's no rainwater, how is it going to fill? For 3 years, there was no rain in Samaria. But all this time, God took care of Elijah. Then God said to Elijah, go see King Ahab again. I will soon make it rain. When the king saw Elijah, remember he was in like a secret place. He was kind of hiding because the king was a little bit mad at him. So when the king saw Elijah, he said, there you are, the biggest troublemaker in Israel. No, said Elijah, you're the troublemaker. You are not supposed to worship and pray to a statue. You are not supposed to worship and pray to Baal. This is against the Lord's commandments. So Elijah told King Ahab that he would prove that the God of Israel was the one true God. He told the king to call together the prophets of Baal and meet him at the top of Mount Carmel. Soon a crowd came to see what was going on. Elijah said to the people, "You can't have it both ways. If the Lord is God, worship him. If Baal is God, worship him." He told the prophets of Baal to build an altar and to put wood on it. So he's going to prove which God is the one true God. Do you think the God of Israel, which is the God of Moses, which is our God, is the one true God? Or do you think the statue of Baal is the one true God? What do you think? Tell me right now what you think. Who's the one true God? Our God or the statue? Our God, right? Let's see what happens. And Elijah did the same. Baal's prophets will pray to their God, and I will pray to the Lord. Elijah told the people, "The one who answers by starting a fire on the altar is the real God." So these are Baal's prophets. So they're praying to Baal, asking Baal to start a fire on the altar. So they went first. They built the altar and they danced around it. They shouted and they prayed. But do you think it caught on fire? No fire came. Elijah said, "Maybe your God is daydreaming. Maybe Baal is on a trip. Or maybe he's asleep." The prophets shouted louder, "Baal, Baal, set our altar on fire." But Baal did not wake up because Baal's not real, right? He's just a statue. Then it was Elijah's turn. He built his altar with 12 stones and placed wood on it. Then he dug a ditch around the altar. Elijah told the people to pour buckets of water over the altar to make it good and wet. And the water filled the ditch. Elijah was ready. He prayed to God, "Please answer me so that the people will know that you are the one true God and their hearts will turn back to you." Do you think Elijah's altar is going to catch on fire? Now, he even put water on it. And things that are wet are harder to catch on fire. So he's going to show the people that his God is really the one true God. At that, Elijah's altar burst into flames. The fire burned the wet wood and the stones. It burned the ground and the altar and dried up every drop of water in the ditch. The people all bowed down and cried, "The Lord is God! The Lord is God!" A few minutes later, the sky filled with clouds, the wind blew, and the rain began pouring down. So it started to rain after years. So cool. I love that story. So we are going to have our blue paper. And then I'm going to dump out the stuff in my bag, and I'm just going to put it close to me. You're also going to need a pencil and a glue stick. All right, so there's all kinds of stuff in there. Oh my gosh, Mrs. Hall gave you so much blue paper, I think, or maybe I just have a lot of blue paper. I'm not sure. Okay, I'll be right back. Get your pencil ready. All right, what we're going to do first at the top, we're going to be doing some writing. Now, when Elijah's altar burst into flames, the people shouted, "The Lord is God." So at the top, you're going to use a pencil, but I'm going to use a marker so you can see. We're going to write that. We're going to write, "The Lord is God." So I'm going to start, though, all the way on the very, 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 very side. Do you see how I put my T right here? So we're going to write the word the. T-H-E, T-H-E. I can spell the, T-H-E. Next, we're going to write the word Lord. So I'm going to scoot over a little bit. Between words, I have something called a space. I'm just going to put my finger there, and I'm going to put my capital L for the word Lord. L-O-R-D. L-O-R-D. So far we have the Lord. I'm going to have another word, so I'm going to put another space, and I'm going to write the word is. I spell is I-S-I-S. It doesn't have a Z. I spell is I-S-I-S. There's just no fooling me. And then we have the Lord is, and they said God. So my finger goes there again. I'm gonna write a capital G and then O-D. So it says, the Lord is God. So first, at the bottom, I'm gonna put my glue stick. We're gonna make the altar. And Elijah had water. So I'm just gonna put some glue. And to put my water down, I'm not gonna put my pieces down flat. I'm gonna crunch them up. We've practiced this before. It gives it a little bit of texture when I crunch them up. And if you have extra pieces, you can keep them. You can do whatever you'd like with them. I think you might have extra. Seems like a lot in my bag. Make sure you have enough glue there so they stick, right? Crunch them up, stick them down. Crunch them up, stick them down. We want to make it look like the water under the altar. So we're just using the blue ones for right now because we're making the water. We're going to use the red ones and the orange and yellow for our fire. You can make it as tall as you'd like. Not too tall. All right, I think I'm gonna be ready for my next layer. So after the water, then Elijah put stones. He actually put 12 stones, but I think I forgot to have Mrs. Hall give you 12 stones. So we're just gonna put however many stones you have in your, so you gotta kind of dig through there and put some stones. Oh, did I only get 4 stones? Oh no, they're in there. You gotta dig for them. Dig around for your stones. Ooh, there's another stone. Okay, and then after the stones, I think there was wood. So you should have 2 popsicle sticks like this, wood, and then fire. So before I put my fire on, I'm just gonna draw some fire with my red marker and my orange marker, like that. And then I'm gonna do the same thing like I did my water, and I'm gonna put down my fire pieces. I think we did fire when we did the God led the Israelites as a pillar of fire. Remember we put our fire down just like this? So you can use your yellow and your orange and your red. Crunch it up. Don't crunch it up too much because you don't want it to be too small. Oh, it's not sticky over there. All right, so there you have it. You've got your altar. The Lord is God. Elijah proved to the people that were worshiping the fake statue God that the God of Israel was the one true God, which is our God. We're very, very lucky.